if Jesus would take his time, pray and fast before selecting his friends? Who are you to select your friends just based on looks, based on aesthetics, because you think that they fit in? Oh, I like her, I like him, I like how he looks, I like his energy. Why would they not break your heart? What the enemy does is that he excludes you from people, because normally it will take people to save you. So he removes you from people and he will now deal with you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Kasim Obiwanko and I love to talk about Jesus. On this channel, we are currently on the Good News series where we talk about who Jesus was, why he came, what he came to do, and the kingdom of God as he spreads the word about it. I want you to leave this particular video thinking, what kind of a friend am I to my friends, to my family? What kind of person am I to other people around me, and how do I support them? And before we get into this video, I want you to click the share button and send this video to someone who you care about, someone who is your friend, someone who is your family, your loved one, your spouse, someone who you want to have this same thought at the end of this video. You know I always bring the good news. You know that this video promises to be packed, so don't be afraid. Click the share button, share it even before you listen to it. Trust me. If you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe, like, and comment, and let's keep the conversations about Jesus going. Today's first verse will be from Luke chapter 5 verse 18. Then behold, men brought on a bed a man who was paralyzed, whom they sought to bring in and lay before him. And when they could not find how they might bring him in because of the crowd, they went up on the house top and let him down with his bed through the tiling into the midst of Jesus. And when Jesus saw their faith, he said, "Your sins are forgiven." Oftentimes, when we read this verse of the Bible, where some friends, they went out of their way to make sure their friend was healed, a lot of people start to think, they ask themselves, do I have good friends? Do I have friends that could do this for me? Do I have friends that could go out of their way for me? But no one really stops to think, am I that friend who would go out of my way for my friend? Am I that friend who would have done anything possible to make sure that my friend sees Jesus? And if you think the answer is yes, ask yourself, how many of your friends have you introduced to Jesus? How many people in your life love Jesus now because of you? I have a confession. Way before I became very close to God, like before 2023, my friends would ask me, pray for me, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And to be honest, in that moment, I'll pray for them. And maybe when I remember again, I'll pray for them. And then when I'm praying for myself, after I've listed all my prayers, towards the end, I'll now remember my friends, I'll call them by their name, and then if they told me anything, I'll pray for them. And when I grew in my faith walk and I became very sensitive to the things of the Spirit, I started spending more time praying for my friend. I stopped praying for them as an afterthought. I now understand what it means to carry someone's matter on your head. Not just my friends, my spouse, my siblings. When my siblings are going through something, I can have sleepless nights. I will set alarm, wake up in the middle of the night just to pray for these people, to pray for my friends, to call their name to God. I now totally understand what it is. So I now know that what I used to do before was not the kind of support that Jesus would expect from me. I now know that what I used to do before is not what these friends did for their friend. I wasn't going out of my way. I was only doing it when it was convenient for me. And now I understand the gift that it is and the power that it takes to show up for your friend and pray for them in difficult situations. Because I'm doing it now, I know what it means to have people in your life who pray for you and show up for you and take your matter to Jesus. But first, you have to be that friend. During Jesus' time on earth, Jesus had a community. He had friends. Forget that this world is trying to preach now how you can do all things by yourself. You can do it alone. You don't need people around you. And you go to comment sections, people are saying that it's someone who has not gone through things that is having friends. It's people who has not been dealt with. There are people who have been dealt with, but they still believe in friendship. These same people that say it's people that have not been dealt with that are still keeping friends, they are the ones who will date men after men or women after women despite what other people did. But for some reasons, we put friends on a higher pedestals than our relationship. I'm yet to understand that, but we'll get into that. So when Jesus was on earth, he had a community. He was never alone, only when he would sneak out to go and pray and spend time with God. but he had his community, his friends, his 12, whom did everything with him. And even in that 12, Jesus had very close friends. He had Peter, James, John, and sometimes Andrew, who experienced his life with him. They would eat with him and everything, and then they experienced his very vulnerable moment. And those his very close friends, he would do some things with them and tell him, don't tell anybody until the Son of Man has risen from the dead. So even in the friends, Jesus had very close friends. And it is because of these 12 people, because of this his very close friends, that's why you and I know about Jesus today. Most of what was written in this New Testament was based on their account. They made it their point of duty to spread the word of God. It's because of them that 2,000 years after Jesus died, we know so much about him, because they kept an account of everything he did with them, everything he told them. These books, this Luke that I even read, it was an eyewitness, someone who experienced him. One of his friends is the one who let us know. They spread the gospel. They loved him so much. Most of his disciples died because of him. They were persecuted because they loved God. They believed in him and they loved their friend so much. So forget this thing that the world is trying to do to make us believe that there are no good people out there. Granted, there are bad people, but if you check it very well, the good people outnumber the bad people. It's just that bad news makes news more than good news does. There are very good people out there who are good and kind and loving to people that show up for them. There are very good friendships out there, but only the bad ones that wreck make the news. So don't allow the enemy to steal this idea of community away from you and think you can do things for yourself by yourself. What the enemy does is that he excludes you from people, because normally it will take people to save you. So he removes you from people and he will now deal with you. When you're now by yourself, you'll now be going through anxiety, depression, you have addictions, you have things that you're struggling with and hiding because there's no one in your life who can see through it and support you when you need support. Jesus did not make these 12 friends on a whim. Jesus selected them after 40 days in the wilderness, fasting and praying. So if Jesus would take his time, pray and fast before selecting his friends, who are you to select your friends just based on looks, based on aesthetics, because you think that they fit in? Oh, I like her, I like him, I like how he looks, I like his energy. You check their status, you check their class, you check what car are they driving. Once all these things checks out for you, then you want to be that person's friend. Why would they not break your heart? Why wouldn't you go through friendship betrayals? Why wouldn't you go through the worst? Why would you not experience it? Because you're picking friends based on superficial things. Do you pray before you make friends? And not just rush into it and start calling people bestie, close friends in just few months. Jesus set the standard for friendship. He let us know how to pick your people, how to pick your community. First, pray. Pray before you pick your friends. Pray before you start calling people your community, your friends. Lay it out to God. In general, you actually need to learn how to pray about everything. That's one secret that I know, one secret that I have. You must learn how to pray about everything. Secondly, pray for your friends and with your friends. We can see Jesus praying for his friends in John 17 verse 6 to 19. He prayed for them. If we read the whole of John 17, 6 to 19, it was him spending time and praying for his disciples. But I'll highlight a few prayers that he made. In verse 9, he said, I pray for them. I do not pray for the world, but for those whom you have given me, for they are yours. And all mine are yours, and yours are mine, and I am glorified in them. Now that I'm no longer in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to you, Holy Father, keep them through your name, those whom you have given me, that they may be one, as we are. In verse 15, he said, I do not pray that you should take them out of the world, but that you keep them away from evil. They are not of the world, just as I am not of this world. Pray for your friends, just as Jesus has shown us. Be particular about praying for your friends. Now let's dive into the greatest form of love that Jesus showed his friends. In John 15, verse 13, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. Jesus showed us how to love your friends with so much intensity. He expects us to love our friends, the people we call our friends, with the same intensity. We ought to put their needs before our needs. And that's that thing of praying for your friends, not praying for them as an afterthought. And I'm not talking about worldly friendships. So worldly friendships exist. Worldly friendships like your colleagues, people you probably attend the same this and that with, those ones exist. those worldly connections, they're important. But if you truly want to enjoy kingdom friendships, make friends with other believers, even if you have the lukewarm ones. Make friends with them, but be the one who makes them pure born again Christians. If you're always finding yourself with friends who you can't talk to them about Jesus, if you're always finding yourself with friends who you can't talk to them about Jesus, who you don't feel comfortable telling them about your testimony, you shy away, they tell you don't bring that Jesus thing here, then you, my friend, you need to check yourself. It's either you leave that space or you make sure that when you're done with that friendship, everybody is singing and talking about Jesus. There is no better form of love and friendship than people that you can take to Jesus, or people that you can talk about Jesus with. It is so cool. Sometimes I'm on a phone call with my friend. We talk for like 2 hours and I realize that what we're just talking about is how God has done so much beautiful things for us, how we're so grateful for the relationship we have with God now, how we wish we had known this early. And that way, you're just having healthy, good conversations. It's all good vibes. And when you have spiritual and close believers as friends, you tend to run away from evil. You tend to run away from gossiping. You tend to keep away from doing evil things, because you know in most cases, we are always a reflection of our friendships. No matter how you try to think that that doesn't affect me, we're a reflection. Our friendships somehow rubs off on us. So imagine being surrounded by friends who love Jesus, how that friendship will rub off on all of you, that you're literally talking about Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So be very, very intentional about the people you call your friends. Then treat others the way you want to be treated. That is another thing that Jesus taught us. Also, when you find your community, when you eventually find your friends that Jesus will help you with, correct each other in love. Love people kindly. Don't do friendship with so much, oh, I'm a very real person, I'm a very blunt person, I say it as it is. Why is she upset with me? Did I say anything wrong? No, you did not say anything wrong, actually. You did not say anything wrong, but you said what hurt this person. And they're in their right to also decide that they don't want to be friends with you anymore. You said something that hurt them. So love people and correct people with kindness. There are many ways to let a friend know that they've hurt you. There are many ways to let a friend know that they did something out of the norm. There are many ways to do that. There's no need to be very rude, especially let's say if it's the person's first time. You know how everybody says, I've seen your true color. After 1,000 good things, one bad thing, we somehow capitalize on it and say that's the person's true color. Why don't we give people chances? Why have we placed friends on a greater pedestal than we placed our partners? Some people are ready to forgive their partner every day. Like if you're in marriage or if you're married, you would know that you forgive your partner every day. I mean, your partner is even the one you made a vow with. Your partner is the one you made a vow with. You need to even make a vow with your friends. But for some reason, we cannot tolerate our friends. We are so eager to be strict to them. And I'm not even talking about marriage. Some people will forgive a boyfriend 1,000 times, but we will not forgive their friend for one thing, one misunderstanding. A person probably did not even know that they did something wrong. It was probably a mistake, and you refuse to talk it out, and you start giving cold shoulders, and before you know it, the friendship that you prayed to God for, you allow it to go. Let's just be mindful of that. Forgive people, be nice to people, give people chances. This doesn't mean that you should tolerate disrespect. This doesn't mean that if you see a friend repeatedly doing the same thing to hurt you, you apply wisdom, but be discerning and still use kindness. Then grow with your friends. It is important that you grow with your friends. Plug them to opportunities. If you see things that they can do, if you see businesses that they are doing, if they have a social media page, they are creating content, they're trying to get the bread, support your friends, grow with them. I see this trend where everybody's talking about how their friends don't like their posts, their friends don't repost their posts. I really cannot relate, because I think that's one of God's greatest gifts to me. The friends that I made much later in life, from university upwards or from secondary school, I made very, very good friends who have grown with me. Those girls are my support system. They are the reasons why I aspire to be more, because everywhere you find them, they are doing great things. They are doing amazing things in their own corner. Nobody is being left behind. And because of that, there's no room for envy. If you grow with your friends, and if you pray with your friends, and if you have this genuine connection with them, there is very little chances that you'll be envious or jealous when things are happening for them, because you prayed with them, prayed for them, and then when the good news comes, you're full of celebration because God has answered your prayer. My spiritual walk will not be complete without the friend that I do my Bible study with. In 2023, we just decided sometime in September that we wanted to know God more. And we decided to start doing Bible study together. It's 2026 and we're still doing it. It's one of the reasons why I know God more. We read the Bible. We just started randomly from Daniel, and we will read the Bible separately, can come together and discuss it. And we've done that almost every week, even with our different time zones. That's how much you commit with your friends. You do spiritual things with your friends. Go to concerts with them, go to conferences, go to ministry things, go to church. Just do spiritual things with your friends. Connect with them on a deeper level and see God blossom that friendship. Like that, God will give you people an intimacy and a support system, because this life, we need each other. And that kind of friendship where you're being very open to your friend in terms of like people are spiritually doing things together. You know that agreement prayer that when two of you agree on something on earth, it is agreed in heaven. You agree with your friends. If you have a spouse, good, agree with your spouse. If you have siblings, agree with your siblings. Everything I'm saying now applies to friendship and relationships. Forget that I keep saying friend. It can't apply to siblings because we can't choose our siblings. God already gave us siblings from heaven. We came in here and we already had siblings, so we can't pray before we choose them and all of that. But still do cool stuff with your siblings. Do spiritual things with your siblings. Pray together. Those things form bonds in the family. Yeah, your siblings will just be so close because you are going through life together, you're praying together, you're sharing good news of things together, and there's no room for all those bad energy where siblings suddenly become enemies. Friendship, relationships, family are the bedrock of society, and they are the bedrock of life. There's really nothing in this life apart from go to work, come back from work, stay with your family, hang out with friends, go on holiday with your friends. It's really not so much in life. So you want to be very intentional about the people you do life with. And how do you stay intentional as a believer? Do spiritual things with them. Connect with them on a spiritual level, and you will see things work out beyond your own imagination. So I urge you, pray for your friends. Pray with your friends. Do spiritual things with your friends. Think about the kind of friend you are. And know that if you are not that kind of friend to someone, there are very little chances that that friend will be that kind of friend to you. I know that someone out there has been hurt by friendships, have been hurt by people, and has sworn and said, oh my God, if someone will betray me like this, I will never make friends anymore. You will. If you're a believer and you want support system, keep an open mind. Don't continue to confess the bad things you've experienced. Don't continue to confess the bad part of life. Just continue to believe that God has good things in stock for me. People used to mock me before, my siblings especially, they used to laugh at me that I like friendship too much. I had so many friendship heartbreaks from secondary school and all of that. But now, for the past 13 to 14 years, I've had solid women in my life who I love, who do spiritual things with me, who we grow together, who we support each other, because we have made God the center of our friendship. So continue to keep hope alive. And then when you meet people that you like, people that you think you want to connect with, take it to Jesus and see Him handle it from there. I hope that this video has encouraged someone. I hope that this video you learned a lot from it. And please like, share, comment, share this video to that friend and let them know that this friendship is a Jesus thing and we're going to continue to do it together. Thank you so much and see you in my next video.